It's time for our first story, a true one that took place sometime between 1895 and 1905. It's a story called The Empty Gun Barrel.
My story concerns two brothers named Harold and Kenneth. As boys, Harold and Kenneth were always getting into trouble. They weren't bad boys, you understand, just lively and full of fun. It was Harold who caused most of the trouble. He was always getting bright ideas as to what to do to have fun. But his ideas usually got them into trouble. There was the time, for instance, when he got the idea to go fishing.
Hey, Ken, what are you doing?
Making a kite.
Let's go fishing. Want to?
What for?
To catch fish, silly. What do you suppose what for?
What do we want with fish? We don't eat them.
We'll raise them. We'll go into the fish-raising business and make lots of money.
Raise fish? That shows how much you know. You gotta have water to raise fish.
Don't you think I know that?
Where are we gonna raise them? In the river? We catch them in the river, then put them back in the river to raise. That sounds like one of your ideas, all right.
We'll raise them in the well.
In the well?
Sure. Then when the fish hatch little fish and they get big, all we gotta do is dip them out of the well by the buckets full. We'll get rich.
Well, there's something wrong with your idea. There must be. But right now I can't see what it is.
Then we will go fishing.
We don't have any hooks.
We'll make some out of pins. Please, Ken, let's go fishing.
Oh, all right. You go get the pins and some string. I'll dig up the worms.
I bet we'll make hundreds and hundreds of dollars on our fish.
I bet we'll get a whipping.
Why will we get a whipping?
I don't know why, but we will. That's the way all your bright ideas end up.
Maybe so, but this one won't. How can we get into trouble? We won't even tell Father about raising fish until we've made lots and lots of money.
I hope you're right. But every time we do one of your ideas, I'm scared to death.
Oh, Father's away preaching and Mother's at the Ladies' Aid Society. What can go wrong?
I wish I knew. Something will. I know that.
You're just a scaredy cat.
I'm not any more scared than you are.
Here's the well.
Yeah?
Come on, let's put the fish in the well.
Well, put down the pail and help me move the cover away from the opening. I can't move it by myself. Whew, but that's a heavy stone.
Can you see the water down there in the well?
Just wait a minute until I get stooped down. Yeah, I can see the reflection. It's about half full of water.
Move over. Let me see, too. It's dark down in there. Yep, it's about half full. Let's dump the fish in.
You dump them in.
Okay, I'm not afraid. Get up then, so I can. Oh, look at them fish. There's our fortune. Oh, look at them. There. Now we'll soon be rich.
Almost every day the boys looked down the well to see how fast their fish were multiplying and growing. But they couldn't see anything at all. It was so awfully dark down in the well. Then one day at the supper table...
Pass me a drink of water, please.
Pour your father a glass of water, Kenneth.
Okay.
Here you are, Dad.
Thanks. Whew, this water. It doesn't taste right.
I thought it tasted queer, too.
Do you boys happen to know anything about this?
The water tastes all right to me.
Me too.
Several days went by. Then again at the supper table...
There is something wrong with this water. It gets worse and worse. Are you sure you boys know nothing about this?
It tastes all right to me.
Maybe a rat or something fell in the well and drowned.
That's what it tastes like, all right. Well, boys, tomorrow we have a job to do. We'll clean out the well. There we are, boys. All the tools are ready. We'll move this cover off the well and start cleaning. Come on.
Okay.
That's a heavy cover. There. Oh, it's Smells awful.
Whew, it sure does.
Something must have fallen in and drowned. Smells like fish to me.
Fish don't drown.
No, but they... Kenneth, do you and Harold know anything about how fish got in the well?
Well, Father, that is that...
Just as I suspected. Why did you put fish in the well?
Harold thought that, we thought that we would raise fish and get rich.
Don't you know that fish can't live in a well?
No, sir.
Harold, go to the willow tree and bring me a stout switch about so big around and so long.
Me?
Yes, you, at once.
What for?
I'm going to punish you for putting fish in the well.
But please don't whip us, Father.
Son, your mother and I have tried to bring you boys up to be good boys. We've tried to teach you obedience, to be upright and honest and fair in all that you do. Sometimes it seems that our lessons haven't done much good. It seems the only way you can learn is through the hard school of experience, with a switch.
Please don't whip us.
Son, do you think I enjoy whipping you? Well, I don't. In fact, whipping you hurts me as much as it does you.
But don't whip Ken. It was all my fault, not his.
Kenneth, is it all Harold's fault?
No, sir.
It was my idea.
You didn't have to put the fish in the well, did you, Kenneth?
No, sir.
Harold didn't make you do it?
No, sir.
Do you think you deserve a whipping?
Yes, sir. If Harold deserves a whipping, I do too.
Harold, do you deserve to be punished?
I'll go get the switch, sir.
For a while after that, the boys seemed to quiet down and be better boys. It seemed that at last they were learning the lessons of good behavior that their mother and father were trying to teach them. Then one day, when Father was again away preaching, Harold had another of his bright ideas.
Hey, Ken, let's go exploring.
Exploring? Where? In Africa?
Oh, of course not. We'll go exploring down in the old dry gulch. We found an Indian tomahawk there once, remember?
Yeah, but there isn't anything more there to be found.
I bet there is. We can dig and see what we can find. That's the fun of exploring, not knowing what you're going to find.
Well, there's nothing else to do. For once, I can't see how we could possibly get into trouble digging around in an old ditch.
Then you will go?
Yeah, but we can't stay long. Father will be home at 4 o'clock, and we want to be back before he comes.
Something.
What?
I don't know. I don't have it all dug out yet.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. Look, it's a gun.
It is, isn't it?
I bet it's the very gun Kit Carlson used.
Oh, it isn't either.
How do you know it isn't?
It just isn't. Well, what are we going to do with it?
Play war.
Play war with one gun?
Sure. Let's make war against the pigeons on top of the barn. Actually shoot them.
You mean really shoot them? With that gun?
Sure.
That gun's old enough to be your grandfather. It won't shoot.
I bet it will.
Anyway, we haven't any ammunition to fit such an old gun.
Come on up to the barn. I'll show you how we can make it shoot. There. The gun's fastened to the rock, pointing straight at the barn roof, where the pigeons roost.
Yeah, but where's the ammunition?
Floyd's father has lots of gunpowder that he uses to blast out stumps. We'll stuff some of the gunpowder down the barrel, then put in some bolts and nails and things like that for the shots.
Say, maybe you're right. Anyway, it's going to be lots of fun. Come on, let's go to Floyd's and get some of that gunpowder. Hey, that's enough. Don't put any more gunpowder down in the barrel.
We gotta have at least 6 or 7 inches of powder in the barrel.
I don't think they used to put in more than a pinch or two.
Maybe not, but this gun is old and rusty. It'll take more powder to make it go off.
Okay, I hope you're right.
There, I guess that's enough. Hand me those nails and bolts and stones. I'm going to fill this barrel clear up to the top. Say, did you get some fuses for Floyd?
Yeah, several long pieces. They're in this box.
Fasten the piece to the powder hole so we can stand away when we fire the gun.
You bet. I don't want to be close when it goes off. I don't trust that old gun.
Afraid?
No, just want to be safe, that's all.
There, the barrel is filled almost to the top. Have you got the fuse fastened?
Not yet.
Uh-oh. It's too late now. There comes Father down the road.
He'll never let us fire this gun.
You're telling me? Say, I know what let's do. Let's hurry and fire it before he gets here.
But it'll take quite a while to fasten the fuse.
We'll fire it without the fuse. I'll light the powder with a match.
You'll get killed.
Oh, I won't either. You run back there. I'll light the powder, then run too. Hurry before Father gets here. I'm not afraid. I'll light it. You ready?
Yep, let her go.
Doctor, will my son, will he ever be able to see again? Or will he be blind?
He'll see all right, Mr. Richards, but perhaps not as well as he has in the past. His sight may get worse as time goes on, though.
Oh, that's better than being totally blind.
I'd say your son is very lucky, Mr. Richards. Usually such an old gun would have exploded all over the place and killed your son.
Ouch!
Instead of merely getting gunpowder in his eyes.
Yes, it was a miracle, all right.
Ouch!
You'll have to lie quiet, son. Else I may not be able to get all these little specks of gunpowder out of your eyes. Then you may go totally blind someday.
Oh,
Quiet, son.
it hurts. Father,
Yes, son.
I've learned my lesson. Ouch! I'll always obey you and Mother.
Mother'll be very happy to hear that, son. And so am I.
Ouch!
Just a few more seconds and I'll have them all out, son.
Obedience always pays, son.
Yeah. Ouch! Oh! Ouch!
Poor Harold. That must have been so painful. Eyes are the most sensitive part of the human body. Why, it hurts just to have an eyelash in my eye, but gunpowder? It makes me shudder to think of it.
He suffered all right, but so did his dad. No father who loves his son wants to see him endure such pain. That's why we dads and moms want our kids to obey us so we can keep them safe and healthy, to grow up to be happy and productive adults.
You know, Uncle Dan, I imagine some of the boys and girls listening are thinking Harold and Kenneth's dad was pretty severe for punishing them when they put fish in the well. After all, they didn't mean any harm, and they didn't know the fish would contaminate the water.
Aunt Carol, any child growing up on a farm back then knew the well was off limits. Not only was it dangerous, but a good source of fresh water was essential and had to be protected. Without water, both people and animals can't survive. Without it, there would be no farm at all. On top of that, they lied when they said the water tasted fine to them.
Oh, that's true. Well, I'm just happy to know Harold survived his experience with that old gun. He could just as easily have been killed.
You're right, Aunt Carol. Guns are weapons, not toys. They should only be handled by trained adults and stored unloaded in a locked cabinet apart from where the ammunition is kept.
Remember, boys and girls, never, never play with guns, even if you believe they're empty. We don't want you to harm yourself or anyone else.
Amen to that.